We said it before and we'll say it again. Zach is the number one guy in the group. Jason, why are you sticking up for Jax? And what are you even saying? It's like a word salad. Also, I went to and graduated from an accredited university, and I still can't figure out if Jasmine is still mad at Danny. Anyone? Bueller? Well, welcome to Showmance, guys, the only show on the internet doing deep dives on shows with no depth.
Dives as deep as the plunge Coca-Cola just did into 11 seasons of Vanderpump just to cut together a reel of Jax's lifelong useless apology to her.
I saw that. That was...
Yeah.
She should be nominated for an Emmy.
I know. They're gonna have to expand the awards system.
Incredible.
Yeah. I know she's been working on this for a bit, but I keep hearing people on other shows go, it would be great if someone could just cut together a reel of, and I'm like, are you not following? Did you not see what
you're missing out? Of? Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, what a fucking sociopath. Jax, not Christina.
Yeah.
It was all of the versions of him saying essentially like the same thing, using the same, because it's a show and people want a good show. And I mean...
I haven't seen it, but it seems like when they play that clip of all the like pundits and people go on all the news shows and they say the exact fucking same sentences.
Yes, that's exactly right.
And then they just play the squares over. It's like ultimately like 50 or 60 people saying the exact same sentences.
Yeah.
Over and
if
over.
AI was good enough, I wish Christina could have just put this note into AI. Now take all of Jax's like the little squares and like zoom, like put them all next to each other and zoom out and pixelate a face of Jax just saying, but it's TV, right? And I'm giving him good TV. It's just a show. It's sociopathic watching him repeat that script over the course of 15 years now?
Yeah.
Because 12 years for the show, but I'm sure he said it since as well.
So I went and started a season 1 rewatch of Vanderpump this last week. I'm 6 seasons in the last week. I'm at like season 6, like episode like 6 by now or something, like right around there. I did not mean to do this, but I did it. And I just want to say I encourage everyone to do it. It might be the first 2 seasons of this show are maybe it's the greatest show on television. I mean, it is a masterclass in like introducing like a brand new bunch of nobodies and they're all broke. They're all truly working at this place. And the relationships and the friendships are so real.
Yeah.
Horrible, but like so real, like whatever like, I don't know what the definition of friendship is, but like they've got some kind of ship going on. And it has opened my eyes to so much about what the Valley is doing now, what they could be doing. You can go back and see that by the 3rd episode that Brittany is in, she literally reads they tell her that Jax is a sociopath. She reads the definition of it in like an interview, and she looks up and she says one of 2 things. She either says there could be worse things, I think, or it's I think there's or that's not the worst thing. It's one of those. It's basically saying like there could be worse things, or doesn't sound like the worst thing in the world. What a fucking thing to have in a time capsule.
Oh,
she read the definition and then said, it could be worse.
No.
Brittany, I want to know.
Brittany, I think you would beg to differ with yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Bethany.
he's cheating on her from the jump before she gets there, right after they move in together. Like it never ends. And she makes her choices and we can all go back and forth on what Brittany deserves and what she doesn't. But like, homegirl knew from the literal jump before her plane landed in LA, it was happening. And she just decided, when the Faith cheating happens, he says what he describes as the most and best sex I've had in 1 week of my life, because all she did was fuck his brains out after that, almost to just be like, I think, which is a girl trying to claim her territory back. But like that was her reaction, was to like fuck his brains out for a week.
He is so unwell.
Yeah.
That was Brittany's reaction.
Yeah. like that's what Jack said about what had just transpired in the last week when they were like, how's it going at home? Things still rocky? And he goes, actually, it's been the most incredible week of my life. The best sex and the most sex I've had in my whole life.
Well, two things. One, we're actually getting to like the beginning of where we start episode 2, but did we want to make an announcement about our employee of the week, Mark?
Mike's had a load in for AGT this week, so he's been working around the clock. So normally we would have posted the Valley today, but now it's midnight on Friday night, and we're just starting this, and we've got one more show after this. So hopefully we can get it up by Sunday.
And load in just means like not only is it an incredibly taxing day, it's an incredibly long day. So like Mike's just texting us from set every like hour, being like, probably going to be an hour later. Probably looking towards an hour later. At any rate, that's why.
So today was today was no different, but it was supposed to be. So we just decided to go ahead and film, and then we're not slacking around here. We just don't have our third guy.
Yeah, and
we don't have our number one guy in the group.
Yeah, we don't. So many of you guys love this guy.
I know. I was more so just saying it because he's the only guy in the group. So
that too.
So by default.
Okay, so we start where Andy's like, how many days have you had sober? He says, I have 156 days sober, which is great, right? I think it is so hard to root for someone who just everything that they do, that they say, it's deeply rooted in narcissism.
Yeah.
He's also not sober. Like California sober is not sober. Smoking weed is still covering up fucking problems and emotion. Like, so you're not sober, dude. You haven't drank alcohol in however long or done coke, but you're not sober. You're not like, oh, I'm 156 days of dealing with my problems. You're still at 0 days.
Listen, I have a lot of sober friends, and they happen to agree with that. Because I'm not in the sober world, I never really cast my judgment on it because I just don't.
Like, I'm not being judgy.
No,
Smoke
I'm not
weed,
saying that you.
But like, don't sit here and tell me, oh, I'm sober and out of rehab and I'm working on my. You're not. If you're smoking weed, you're not. You're smoking weed every day. It's an
altered state.
Yeah, like you swapped alcohol and coke for another drug. Like, it's still drugs.
I just feel like there is a difference between those drugs. Like I don't.
There's a difference, and when you're just a guy who likes to smoke a little weed on the weekends, but you have a problem with alcohol, but you're California sober, like cool, fine. When you are like been to rehab multiple times, you have drug problems, and now you're like, I'm sober 156 days. But I still smoke weed all day. I can't stop smoking weed. I'm never going to stop smoking weed. Your ex-wife who hates you is like, let's keep him on the weed. Those are all signs of, okay, that's a problem too.
I just didn't want to insult all the Bernies out there.
Listen,
all
the Bernies are
my fellow
fun.
Bernies.
Yeah, speaking from experience, this is how I know these things. But like, Bernies are one thing.
California sobers, our Bernies and California sobers, I think are different. Like how about this? I know people who have a genuine problem with weed. Like they can't smoke it. They fuck up their whole life because of just getting stoned all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not even necessarily shitting on California sober. Like, fine, that can be a thing. Like, Jax Taylor shouldn't be smoking weed. Jax Taylor shouldn't be running around patting himself on the back for 156
then I will
days
fully
sober.
agree with that. Yeah.
When you're still fucking ripping bong hits all day long to avoid all the things that all the other drugs were, like that you're not doing anything different.
No, I will sign that form with you. But so then he starts what I really loved this episode was all of Zach's sidebars, because I think he's really smart. I think he brings up great points. And when I never caught this, even though it annoyed me when Jax would say, oh, my son or our son, he never uses his name.
Yeah.
And I was always just like, it just felt like so much, so performative to me.
Yeah.
And then when Zach leaned over and he goes, he never says his name. And it's a quality of a narcissist to say my son or our son, because the shine stays on you, as opposed to saying like, oh, my sweet, beautiful son, Cruz.
Yeah.
And giving him a name.
Yeah.
And
I know. I never thought of that until he said it.
that is such a great point. And I
Yeah.
do think it, like, I didn't look it up, but I believe, Zach, that it is like a trait of a narcissist.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's funny to me how triggered Jax gets by Zach. And it's like, yeah, he's on the show. He can say whatever he wants. Brittany's okayed it. You know what I mean? Like, Andy asked him a question. Jax is, this whole segment was just hard to watch and hard to take notes on for me because I'm so over him. I was
Yeah.
never under him, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I'm so ready for and excited for him to be off the show because I hope I wrote it down because I had a great analogy for what he's doing right now. And it's pathetic to just watch him say something and then someone else counter him being like, well, you did this. And he's like, you're right. Like he can't even like get it up to lie well
that's
anymore.
my favorite part is when he's like, on my son's life, 150%, 10 toes down. No, actually, it was this. Yeah. Like nothing. He has no gas left in the tank to like.
Oh, and he also, what drove me fucking crazy is when he's sitting there, he has, again, Christina, thank you for your as Natalie says, your country thanks you. Everything are these lines, these lines that he constantly vomits out that mean nothing.
Yeah.
Your word holds no weight at all. So when he looks at Brittany and he's like, well, you know, I'll always be there for you. Oh, you will? Because you haven't.
Yeah.
Because you let the house fall into foreclosure because our mortgage went from $7,000 to $18,000. You said you're waiting to file for divorce so that you could go after me for alimony if you don't make it on the show next season. You fucking threw a table at me. You pushed me into a rose bush. You haven't shown up in any way, shape, or form that would make me think that what you're saying is the truth.
Yeah.
You know how we were talking about like, oh, you could be a great father, but a horrible dad on Next Gen, where it's like, okay, you provided a roof over your children's head. They never had to worry about food and stuff like that, but you were a horrible dad. You never showed up for any of the sporting events or the music concerts or just talked to your kid. Jax is a horrible everything.
Yeah.
You're not a good dad. You're not a good husband. You're not a good father.
No, and he just will repeat lines like you said. Like one thing he said was, if I didn't go to rehab, I wouldn't be here today. I thought you didn't go to rehab. I thought you went to like anger management. No? Like I feel like he keeps going back and forth.
It changes whatever he needs it to be, whether it needs to be rehab or his facility or mental, whatever.
Oh yeah, mental. That's what it was. Yeah.
Whatever it needs to be
here.
for the conversation that he needs to defend himself in.
Yeah.
Like he's just like whatever. And I feel so dumb talking about him.
Just watching Vanderpump. So many things, and I'm going to try not to I didn't do a pre-tape. I didn't script all this out because it was just such a random thing that I did. I didn't go into it because I was trying to do any research. I just put it on and then it just kept playing, and I was like, Jesus Christ, this is so good. Like, you got to watch the first 2 seasons. They are the greatest. Third one is okay. Not bad, but just okay. And then after the halfway through the fourth one, it gets fucking bomb again. Yeah. 6 is where they start doing Lisa brings up the idea of tom-toms. So now they're kind of going through those motions where they visit the site with them and Tom tries, whatever. But Tom and Jax, as fucked up as their relationship always is with Jax, they are truly decades long friends and have this crazy history. And even when Jax does the most worst, awful, horrendous things that it is the anti-friend. He is the exact opposite definition that anybody else would call a friend. They always figure out a way to come out of it, and they go right back to their old habits and their old banter. And just the way that they banter is so interesting because it is we're not seeing that in the Valley. That's what stood out to me is the relationships are not real on the Valley. They tried to cast this show And Jax and Brittany talk about how like they were the ones that went up, down, basically walked down the street and popped by their friends' houses and said, we're trying to put this show together. Would you be interested in joining it? Can I give the producers your names? And then people would say yes or no, or, whatever. So they did pick these people out, but it is so clear now that they picked them out, like I was saying last time, like almost as like a roster team. Like, okay, you got your pitcher, your catcher, your third baseman, like, whatever. And I have this, I know that nobody wants all these old cast characters to come back. They're like, no, we've got this new show. It's fine. It's good. It's great. If you go back and watch Vanderpump, you will see all the holes that are in the valley, and you will not. Nobody wants just Sheena back, but Sheena, Lala, Schwartz, Sandoval. And they've been meeting with Sandoval. And it's like, that's the heavier rumor right now. And I have to, you probably can't even answer this, but like, is anyone there filming from another show? Like while Sandoval.
Blink once for a yes. I saw an eye go down. I don't know if that was just because he's tired.
I know.
I saw something. But no, it is really interesting because I feel like so many people in our comment section always comment like, I feel like I'm hanging out with my friends when I'm watching you guys because you can tell we didn't cast this show. Trust me, they didn't even want to be on this show. I did. I've always wanted a show. But no, in all seriousness, like you can't fake, when they say you can't make new old friends.
Yeah.
You can't fake the fact that you have history with someone.
Yeah.
And we really got to witness that on the beginning episodes of, also on Summer House, but really in such a big explosive way on Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
And also the first seasons of Beverly Hills and Jersey are so amazing because they had that either familial bond like they had in Jersey, and that shit was very real.
Yeah.
Or and also in Beverly Hills, because Kim and Kyle are obviously related. Like all of these people were friends.
Yeah.
Well, all the shit, like
don't want Schwartz
Summer
back?
House, friends. They were in the beginning, and then
Yeah.
they all became great friends. Southern Charm, friends. Housewives, apparently, like whatever, friends
Not
or family.
all of them, though, in the
Well,
Housewives.
those two.
Those two.
Jersey Shore, friends. Like,
No,
and they
no.
weren't, but
They
they
weren't, yeah.
became like, I didn't know, like, you could have fooled me, like, from the jump, I remember, like, and then and they became like family straight away.
Yes.
So like all those shows, Vanderpump, like all of them, is that you got to have a group of friends. Like back in the day when everybody was like, oh, and go find a quirky person doing a quirky job. That was the mandate for development. Go, I need a quirky person doing a quirky job. Find me a quirky family doing a quirky job. Okay, cool. And literally would send people out. Just find me a fucking mechanic who does it. Find me a pawn store. Just find whatever. Find quirky people doing quirky shit. And that's how all these things. But there was a relationship. There always had to be
The
a
Osbournes,
relationship with the
quirky
people.
people doing quirky
Oh,
stuff.
I love that.
But a
show.
family, right?
yeah.
The Valley, like they forgot all. Like they either forgot everything or they were like, we've been doing pretty good for 60
Yeah.
years. Let's try something totally different.
Yeah.
10 villains, 2 good guys. Nobody likes each other. No friends? Let's do no friends. Any relationships? They hate each other like that. And let's see what happens. It didn't work. That's what happened. Scrap it. And like going to what I think that you're about to say is like, no, bring these people. And like we argue about, oh, don't bring them back. Bring them back. Bring them. I'm kind of at the point now where I'm like, it didn't work. Scrap it. Let's start over. Give me a different fucking show. Like
Then Vanderpump?
I mean, I'll watch this new Vanderpump, but I'm
No. I'm
just
sorry. Are
mean,
we
like,
talking about the
bringing
reboot
the
of Vanderpump?
Valley. I'm talking about the Valley.
Okay.
Like if I don't know if I need all these people to come to the Valley to show me what friendship and all that shit is. Like if they were like, oh no, next season we watch Showmance and they all think we should go lean into the family storyline and the friends and we're going to bring in Lala and we're going to bring in Sheena and the Toms and we're going to go back to like friends and family in the Valley, the way it should have been. Of course, I'm tuning in to see if they fuck it up. But I'm also at this point like, unless you do that, I don't need all these friends coming back because I think you're just gonna fuck it up. Like you've proven to me that you fucked up 2 years in a row. Why What's the thing? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
Well,
Shame
listen.
on me. Fool me 3 times. Like,
Then
who's
I'm
the
a
fucking
fucking
idiot?
I know.
here?
I guess what I'm saying is that, like, and here's another thing. I don't even know how to word this without getting canceled. So, but here goes.
It's been nice knowing you guys. Thank you so much for your support.
They were all cheaters. They were all doing their thing. Like, and some relationships let it happen more often. Like Schwartz didn't ever seem to really nail anyone, but he certainly made out with a handful of people after he was married too. Like I forgot about that one. I'm still
Wait,
here.
He cheated on her with the Miami girl?
No, wait.
Schwartz?
He did.
No,
He-
that
I-
Miami
listen,
girl
he
is
cheat-
Sandoval.
Yeah.
Wait, Schwartz cheated on Katie when they were married?
No, Schwartz. Listen, not no. Yeah, but she never banged anybody. Schwartz was like the fucking. This dude would make out with
He was a
everybody.
make-out machine.
Like everybody. If there was a girl, he'd be like, "Let's make out." Like he got drunk and then he would kiss you.
That I remember. I just didn't remember it happened when they were married. It happened when they were.
At least once. That's where I'm at now. Season 6, it's only once, but it did
I think
happen.
it's a couple times.
After he gets married, it's more than once.
I think it's a couple times. Wow.
Oh, my
man.
God. Yeah, it's
Hey.
but you know, like I said, I don't think he ever. I think that was pretty much it. There's one night that he doesn't remember, but like you can just tell when he's saying it that he's saying he doesn't remember. But it's like even with any girl, and I'm going to say this, and also I hope this doesn't get any hate, but like I, for one, my personal experience, like I know. When I wake up the next morning, I know I had sex. Like I could be so wasted, but like I know, like, oh, okay, I could just feel it in my body, you know? Like I know that happened. So when Schwartz says I was completely blackout, I don't really recall any of it, but I know I didn't have sex. Like I believe that because I just believe that like that you can black out and know if you had penetration. Like it's just another. Like I said, you can feel it in your body and, you know, whatever, like personal opinion. Sorry. But yeah, I think that was it for him. Miami girl was Sandoval. And like, I'm pretty sure he banged that girl.
100.
Like they never, as far as season 6.5, there's no proof, but like like you.
I'm good. I don't need the proof.
I think he did.
We're fine.
Yeah. But even then, that was in the very beginning of his relationship with Ariana. And he got into his relationship with Ariana because
He was cheating.
he cheated with Ariana on Kristen. And then the times he cheated on Kristen, I think that now it's reminding me that Kristen was even in a relationship when Tom Sandoval met her. So they had banged like 6 times or 6 weeks or 6 times or
The
something.
dovetailing of dysfunction knows no bounds on that show.
Yes. But I guess what I really shouldn't have started out with all of this to say what I'm about to say.
They're good guys.
I know. No. Not they're not good guys. But for this group of people, and also for the amount of things I've been watching Tom Sandoval this entire time, what he did is unforgivable. Like from the standpoint of the girlfriend and from the standpoint of the girl he cheated with, because I think she was, even though she got into that as well, like she was clearly a fucking emotional, mental wreck after that. So like
Raquel, you mean?
Raquel, yeah. Or Rachel or whatever the hell she's going by now. He was a really beautiful friend to everyone in his life for this entire time. Like I said, I'm only on season 6.
Bad father, good dad.
Yeah. What is it though? You go to, you're only as good as your last day. And that is truly, he should have that on his tombstone. You're only as good as your last day.
Probably
because
will.
This guy, he flew out the brothers for Schwartz's wedding. He brought extra clothes for them because do you remember his brothers? Tom Schwartz's brothers are basically like, I don't even know what to call them without being completely like.
Remember when we met Slade's parents?
No.
Oh, okay.
They're 3 boys who share one phone, all still live at home, don't have any money. They were not going to be able to come to Schwartz's wedding.
Yeah.
Like,
they live in like deep like backwoods of Florida, I think, and live a very simple existence.
Oh, and they're triplets. They are triplet brothers. Flew them out. He also brought clothes for them. which I'm sure you haven't seen these kids in, if ever, I don't know if Tom Sandoval ever met
Oh, he
them.
probably
Brought
asked what
them
are your
ties,
sizes.
like brought stuff for the wedding, for the rehearsal dinner, brought like everybody there was like, Tom, do you have this? Tom's like, yeah, I got it. Tom had literally, I want to say he had backups of things for 6 different people that I just witnessed.
But
like,
don't you remember he also did that? It's why it fucked up James Kennedy, who, whatever your opinions are on him, just for the context of this conversation, he went so far out of his way and I think spent like 10 grand helping him plan the proposal to Raquel.
oh yeah.
And James said in the reunion that year, he's like, I thought of you as a brother because he was such a good friend to him.
Yeah.
And that's like terrible father, great dad.
Yeah. But like, I just want to say there's something crazy that has happened with watching Tom Sandoval all these years. And then that one thing that he did that like, he will never live down. It will always be a thing as it should be. I would never tell Ariana ever fucking be in the same room with him ever again. But like, how crazy it is to see someone be so thoughtful and generous and caring for so many years, and then it just like I don't, and probably not even for the right reasons. That's codependency. That's overcompensating for something, wanting to shine. Yeah, definitely. But like you could do worse than having Tom Sandoval as a friend, whatever that says.
But until like it's okay until it isn't, because if you think about how like Tom Schwartz talks about that they had to get real space in their friendship. He saddled him with knowing a lot of stuff that I'm sure Schwartz didn't want to know this because now I feel like I'm complicit and I'm guilty by association and I didn't have anything to do with this. And I just feel like if a good therapist was here or watching, if you are, tippity tap and let us know. I feel like there is definitively a reason that he acted that way because I really do believe like how you do one thing is how you do everything. So I think he really, like, if you think about it, he probably loves the attention, right? Like,
no, I think so too.
You love me because I did all of this for you. Because think about when he wasn't getting the attention from Ariana, he went to someone who's super impressionable, who thought he hung the moon, and Raquel was obsessed with him. Yeah. And it's that same energy hit that, like, he's an addict to that energy hit.
No, totally. But I also think that I think that he found himself in a position that a bajillion people do in relationships after 10 years. Like they were basically roommates. They had no romantic life. I don't know how long they'd been living that way. And I don't think it was I don't know what the truth is, obviously, but I don't think that there was a lot of pushback when Tom said, like, when we talked about breaking up, she threatened to just like
harm herself.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's true. And I'm not saying that like you still shouldn't figure out how to do the right thing or whatever, but like, this has just been an interesting week to like think, like to watch all of this and see like how someone like Schwartz, there's a million things that I don't think Schwartz would have like ever done had Sandoval not been the backbone of that relationship.
Yeah, agreed.
Like Schwartz tried to not do the restaurant with, like his first answer for Tom, Schwartz was like, no. I don't want, I can't commit to that. I don't want that kind of responsibility. And Sandoval sitting next to him being like,
are you an idiot?
Are you stupid? Well, he's in. It's fine. He'll do it. Don't, Schwartz, shut the fuck up. And just follow my and so there was a dynamic between the two of them that like Schwartz got to be the good guy all the time because kind of Sandoval carried the baggage and Schwartz is a fucking devil. Schwartz. Sandoval is a little devil. Don't get me wrong, but like
it's just an interesting
whole thing.
If you do look at the cheating, like the full circle cheating, because he cheated on Kristen with Ariana, then he cheated on Raquel or Ariana with Raquel. I do think it's more, I think it's less that they were in a, sexless relationship as much as it is, it's just his pattern. When he wasn't getting what he wanted from Kristen, he, instead of just ending it, he cheated. Because if it happens once, like, okay, whatever. If it keeps happening, it's like, this is something that you need to look at.
Totally. So like their entire span of this show is all of that. Like everyone in there is banging everyone. And so it's judging these people on in the world that you're watching.
Right.
It's not my world. You know,
No.
like I don't like those aren't my friends. That's not how like the standard of friend that I would require and relationship that I would require and whatever. But if you're just like in a vacuum, like watching this whole thing happen.
Well, you know, Lisa went to Andy and Lisa Vanderpump, and she said, she goes, the show is cast.
Yeah.
Like, you have no idea what is going on at my restaurant with these kids.
Yeah.
It's Melrose Place.
And it really is like and
it's there for the taking. Like, let's take it. And they did, and they've had a lot of success off of that, Lisa. So thank you very much.
So I don't know who they're going to bring back and who they're going to keep from this season. Like it's so weird to me. But I could see someone watching this season that's like worked on the show for however long and you know, Vanderpump, this was supposed to be just Vanderpump Part 2. That's how it started. So if anybody on that show has done a rewatch, just like fell into one like I did, I know that if I worked there, I'd be there fucking at 6 a.m. on Monday morning, putting together a whole fucking pitch for everyone to come into the conference room. I just want to tell you guys just a little thought I have. Why would we not want to recreate this show? It was brilliant. And so I feel like that's maybe where they're trying to get to, because you could take off 70% of this cast and I wouldn't give a flying shit.
Yeah. Speaking of people that we could take off.
Sorry, we should get to the show. Sorry.
The only other comment that I even give a shit about to talk more about within the Jack sobriety stuff at the top of the show was when Andy was asking him, like, you know, how long have you been doing coke and like what was kind of like the story behind it? And he's like, I probably started in like 2001. Apropos of nothing, Janet's like, I was in the 7th grade.
Yeah.
Right. We get it, Janet. You're younger than Jax. I want to explain something to you about how time works.
Oh, no. I think she was saying I did coke when I was in the 7th grade.
No, she was saying in 2001, I was in the 7th grade.
Oh, I thought she was saying,
to say like she's so young. She's just this young babe in the woods.
It that way. I thought she was. How did you take it?
Yeah, that way.
That she was in 7th grade when he was.
Yeah, you think Janet's done coke A and B in the 7th grade?
Yeah, no, never.
No. I think Janet probably saw coke and had a mild cardiac arrest before she made it to the nurse, the principal, the vice principal, the police.
I have such a different take on Janet than you guys do. I think that she did all this stuff. I think that she probably does do this stuff with, or like before she had her kid. I think she was partying with the rest of them.
She may have been. I don't know. I just was very annoyed by that comment. It's like, I can't stand when people do stuff like that, because it's like, you too will be 40, Janet.
Yeah.
And like, to just try to like highlight that as a selling feature of yours, like, every car that's new this year is going to be a depreciating asset as soon as you drive it off the lot. And a year from now, it's going to be a year older, just like you. Yeah. A depreciating asset. I'm kidding. I don't think she's a depreciating asset.
No,
but like,
she is.
when people use that stuff against someone else, again, we said it last week, it's like, argue in a smart way, not in like these low blows that like, well, you're ugly.
Unless you're super ugly. Then how, if you don't tell them, how will they know?
Okay, well, I don't like.
Oh, they know.
No, I think I clarified this already, but when I go in and start talking shit on people's looks, they're usually they're a shitty person.
You say because
like,
they're a bully.
Yeah,
so
you're a bully, you're a dick. So I'm just why would I not add that in, especially for the most vain of characters that you know that like you could say 15 of their worst habits. They won't care about any of them until you say and they need a nose job. That will be the kicker that will stick with them. So I'm saying whatever I can to get it rise.
The next segment is us again talking about the Jesse and Michelle affair, marriage, whatever. I know people like Jesse. I know I've said it all season, but people like him just get in my craw. Like I can't express to you enough how irritated people like him make me. Because they are historical revisionists in the way that when they're telling the story, there's elements of what happened. Like, you got the people right, but the way it was said, like, I love my sister dearly, but my sister does have a little bit of this in her where she would say, like, my cousin, I had a cousin that we were all very close to. She unfortunately passed away, and she had left me this piece of furniture. and my sister didn't want me to take it. She's like, you're all the way out in California. I'm like, right, but I'm shipping my stuff out here anyway. Like, I'm just going to take it. And she's like, no, that's ridiculous. And mom just said that's ridiculous also, and that I should just keep it. And I'm like, right, but it was left to me.
Right.
And so when I called my mom, I'm like, why did you tell her that she should keep the piece of furniture? You know, our cousin left it to me. And she goes, no, I said, if you don't want to pay to ship it to California, instead of it sitting in the garage, Betsy should put it in her house. But my sister left all of that out and just said, mom said I should keep it. And it's like, that is not what mom said. Okay. And I just feel like Jesse does that stuff all the time when he's like, I'll tell you what happened. And it's just so frustrating to be in a relationship with someone like that. I don't give a shit if they're your friend, you work with them, whatever. It's just so obnoxious.
Yeah.
Do better, Jesse.
No, he is so boring right now. It's just so boring. The only thing I want to hear him talk about is how Janet's an idiot. Like he just right now needs to be a support system for what we want for the next season. And I think everything else is a waste of time for me.
Well, because when he's bad, he's like dipping into Jack's territory for me.
Yeah.
Because when they were replaying all of the ways that like the arguments they got into, and like you heard again the way he spoke to her, especially when they cut it back to back.
Yeah.
It is horrible how he spoke to her.
Yeah.
Like if someone spoke to me that way, my head would explode.
Yeah.
Like and he did that knowing that there were fucking cameras there. So how did he speak to her when there weren't cameras there?
8.5 years.
Yeah, like just keep going to therapy and don't ever act that way again. That was so gross.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like I said, I like Jesse for his entertainment, but when you can't rely on him to have any kind of an argument that you're going to be like, yeah, what he said, you're going to be like, oh God.
We're snobby here, so we don't spend a lot of time in the valley. We spoke of that during episode 1 of this recap. Boot, is the valley just a bunch of alcoholics? Because now I'm starting to wonder if this show isn't about people who get married, have kids, and move to the valley. It's about alcoholics and people who drink too much and say and do stupid shit.
Well, Jesse doesn't live in the valley.
But he's there, right? He's on a show called The Valley, and all these people get wasted and say crazy shit and do crazy shit. That's all that's happening. That's it. What else happens? Nothing.
I know. I really can't lay this in enough. Like, if these people were actually friends, they would be at each other's houses doing things like just running by to let the repair guy in. Like someone's having a bad time. Sandoval would show up at 2 a.m. and be like, buddy, and with like a groceries full of like whatever the hell it is,
making their favorite cocktail,
making their favorite
kitchen.
anything,
yeah.
Their blanket that they used to. You love this blanket when you stayed at my house.
I called your mom. She fed. I paid to have it overnighted here. Whatever.
They'd be at Jax's once a week, having Saturdays at Jack's, like family night at Jack's or what that like.
Yeah, hashtag Sundays are for showmance.
I love that.
I know, it was so good.
Even the people we like Michelle got wasted and said crazy shit. Jesse got wasted and said crazy shit. Jax got so wasted he had to go to rehab twice. Brittany got wasted, said crazy shit. Kristen got wasted, said crazy shit. Luke got wasted, said crazy shit. Zach got wasted, said crazy shit. Danny got wasted, did crazy shit. Nia doesn't get wasted, but she's been on fucking Danny's leash all season. Like, so every single storyline got wasted and said crazy shit. Every single one. All of them.
I will say this
season is that.
And it's not a compliment, but Jesse was saying crazy shit even when he was sober. Like, that's just and so anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there because
listen, I'm gonna really try to knock this off, but like the difference between Vanderpump and the Valley is that they all would do that shit, smoke that shit, drink that shit, do crazy shit, and then tell on each other. Now, Jax would tell on everyone all the time.
Oh, he was the ringleader with it.
And does this all the time in Vanderpump. But the friends aren't waiting for you to fuck up to take you down. They're there to lie for you. They're there to clean it up. before anyone gets home, to bury the body, to like move everything
rebuild the
out,
friend
to
group.
bleach the walls that the blood splatter got on, you know, like all those things. These people are just out for blood. Like every time someone does something, they're like, they come off like they're, like if anyone watched True Blood, like when you see the vampires, like somebody would walk in and you just see them go, like you just see that lunge, like their body physically, like that's what vampires do. This cast is a bunch of fucking blood-sucking vampires, like just lusting for the demise of their best friend. My brother, you were a brother to me. Like,
I disagree. Speaking of lusting for someone's blood, I will say when Michelle came out and was like, oh, well, you're so against people having affairs, but as soon as we broke up, the first person you slept with was a married woman. And I 100% believe that.
Who?
Someone whose name begins with an A.
Anna Nicole? Was
No,
she
she's been-
married?
Why do you believe that?
The reason I believe it is because he fights her on everything. And when she had said something, he goes, who are you talking about? And she goes, you know. And he's like, who? And she goes, her name begins with an A. And he goes, who has been divorced or like hasn't been married for many years.
25 years.
25 years or something like that. And she said something and he didn't fight back. And I felt like if he had some bullet in the gun, he would have like saying like, okay, this is what you're talking about. Let me explain this or whatever. He just didn't fight it because I don't think he could.
I don't, those two, I have no idea what's real between those two. They talk in circles. We never find out anything at the end of it. Like there's always like a, oh, you know, you know. And then like, Andy, you're just gonna let us go on? Like that was some fucking
Andy, we don't know.
Wait, who would I always talk shit on? The Netflix guys that do the reunions, Vanessa and Nick Lachey. Worst ever. That was some Nick Lachey type shit right there, Andy. Like, make them finish the sentence or cut that whole thing out. Don't leave it unless you're gonna bring it home in the third one. Because I don't know if you've seen any of the. Have you seen any clips for the next one?
No, dude.
Oh God, Andy straight up says to Janet, "Do you think that you need to thank Kristen for making you relevant?" All I want to do is
somebody
get to this third
give
part.
Andy a raise. Well, that brings us into the next section when we're talking about the whole like mishigas between Zach and Janet, and it's so long and it's so layered. And to me, the highlight reel of it is when Jesse is telling you like, too much, bro.
Yeah.
Take the note.
Yeah.
Also, Zach has apologized to you, Janet, 800 times.
Yeah.
So either say, listen, I never want to be close with you again, but I accept the apology and I will zip it about anything to do with you unless you come for me again, and then I'm out for blood. True blood, Natalie.
Yeah.
And also when Jason, who's someone put Jason's brain in a blender and just try to funnel it back in and smush it into his ears, being like, I guess it'll work the same. Because everything he said was gobbledygook, nonsense, a word salad, nothing made sense. And when he's sitting there saying, you know, everyone's so mad at Janet that she has, you know, been talking about this person and that person or whatever. But when I watch the show, 80% of the scenes are all of them talking about my wife. And it's like, right, because she started it. Yeah. That's the point, you ding dong. How did you get through law school if you can't draw that very, very, very straight line?
Kidding me? That just like that, by showing everyone this while he's over here doing this.
Oh, you think that he genuinely? Because I think he genuinely.
I'm not saying he's good at it, but like that's what a lawyer does, is say dumb shit to make you think something that's not true, right? Like that's what he's doing.
Because that makes sense if he believes that Janet really is stirring the pot and not a good person, and he's just trying to cover up for her. I was taking it as like he is ride or die for her, and he genuinely believes that like she did nothing wrong and she is the aggrieved party.
The reason that I do more so believe that is because when I just think about the timing, because like we all keep talking about how the reunion it happened so long ago, even now, and the season happened so long ago. But I know that they went on to watch what happens. God, this is what I don't know actually. It was either the day before or the day after the reunion. If it was the day after the reunion, or I'm sorry, before, then they clearly, like we saw in real time that they know what everyone is saying. Yeah. They know what the audience is saying. And so I feel like Jason would be like a dumbass enough to like dumbass is wrong. He's a dumbass, but like he would care about the audience. He would see, oh, this is what the narrative is. Oh, everybody believes this. And I think he would try to figure out a way to find, I don't know, just do better at this whole thing, but he isn't. So he must believe that like he's just doubling down, like on Janet, everything that Janet does, everything that they've done together, whatever. Like
that's how it felt to me.
Yeah, I think you're right. And Jason is no longer, and he hasn't been for a bit, but like that dude is just as bad as her, if not worse, because at least she's the original. He like kind of came late to it and is like just trying his hand at
He's
this.
Like her whack hype man.
Yeah. It's pathetic. It's so pathetic. He is so unattractive. He is like the biggest pussy on this whole show. Like, oh my God, barf.
You know what is wild to me? I feel like when he tries to be really confrontational with someone, it is so outside of his bailiwick that he can't confidently just say, this is what's going on. I think you wronged my wife. This is what happened. Like Nia and Danny aren't confrontational, but they are such good communicators.
Yeah.
And I loved when they were talking about like, you know, all the stuff came up again with obviously the drinking stuff and Janet, we'll get to it. But, and Janet constantly bringing it up and Jason goes, but we said X, Y, and Z. And Nia goes, we're not communicating here. Like she just called it out and she said everything so clearly. Yeah. And I feel like he has no ability to either just go for someone or communicate clearly. And he gets very nervous. And this is just not the spot for either one of them. Like, you know, when you get, like I garden a lot, like I grow plants and stuff like that. And they always say like, oh, it's really good to grow like basil next to tomatoes. Or this plant actually needs just a little bit of sunlight. This needs a lot. And I just feel like this is not the right place for them to be planted. This is the
it's so
the
bad.
plant of Janet and Jason is going to die if they stay in this. This just can't end well for them.
No, they are not cut out for this. And they're only two storylines. I was thinking about it all year. They've had the only single storyline that they had about themselves was the ring accusation. That was it. They didn't do a single other thing. They had a birthday at Dave and Buster's, okay, which
is when she was the most likable.
Which she was, but we didn't even really see her that much. Like she was off playing her. That's where we like you. Speak when spoken to. Stay hidden unless I call you out. And so that wasn't even her story. It all came, and I think that's why Andy says Kristen made you relevant with this ring story because that was your only story. Yeah. And to then also see that Jasmine's really only story was
the grabbing
that they showed in a flashback from episode 1. You know how I always say I could never be on a reality show. Like my life is so boring. Like they would be like, what are we doing here? Apparently you only got to have like 1 or 2 rumors happen about you. And then you just argue that out for the whole year. Like,
but see, that's why the show gets into really murky territory for all 3 of us, because we don't want to watch a show based on rumors.
Of course. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, now I realize, no, if anyone asks you to be on a show and it pays you any money at all, just say yes. Don't be scared that like, you're not going to bring it. You will.
Yeah. Or someone will bring it for you and then you can just keep rehashing
it.
You
could just talk about what other people are bringing.
And it's so crazy too, because Janet and Jason specifically was really performing well. And we felt like, oh my God, this is the voice of reason. And he's so logical and whatever. And when the wedding ring stuff got brought up, I understand how hurtful that is. And that can, like this is what I think is easy to forget is these people are in this world and it seems like that everybody knows about it. And it's like, I have to escape LA because it's too hard. And it's like, no, it's because you keep Like, I remember when I broke up with that baseball player, and I'm not religious, but for Lent, you give things up. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to give something up for Lent. And I was like, I'm not going to read any of the tabloids because he was always in them. Because I didn't want to do it, but I couldn't help myself. I just was like wanting to know, right? And so I just stopped. I did not look at one fucking thing. If someone sent me something, I wouldn't open it. And that's how I started to really heal and get over things, because out of sight, out of mind. And I didn't, okay, whatever, hook up with whoever you want. Like, you're single, I'm going to go do my single thing. And Janet never got that memo of like, the wound stops. It starts healing once you stop picking at it.
Yeah.
And she just keeps going in.
Yeah.
When they ended the thing with the wedding ring stuff and Kristen apologized, they had that great conversation at the shark party with Luke and Kristen and whatever. You could have then gone from there.
Yeah.
And made yourself like a great, likable character on this show. But you just couldn't stop fucking picking at shit. So much so that you had to pick with shit that had nothing to do with you. You were not involved in Danny and Jasmine situation.
Yeah.
Or when Danny was allegedly at this fan event and something happened. You're picking at this wound that has nothing to do. It's not on your body.
No. And while you've got a girl that like you are super tight with, who just got pushed into rose bushes and no one's even talking about it.
Be a good friend to her.
And you're still sticking up for Jax. You're still literally telling us, for someone who's been on drugs for 20 years, it's going to take a minute for him to be a good person. So, there might be a few bushel pushes and, Ring camera incidents and rage texts and putting surveillance in your home of your son's house, kicking them out to go bang a bunch of whores there while they are off at Airbnbs. Like, how many things, like, Jason, like, does none of this, like, it's not embarrassing to you that, like, all of this is happening and, like, you're talking about this one Disney character, dude. Whenever I look at him, I just think of, like, that kid was on, is that kid Zach or Cody? Like, that's when I look at Danny, he just seems like a kid that was on a Disney show, and I'll never.
He was iCarly.
Right, but, like, I don't even think he was a big character, but, like, to me, that's just who, he's like a bobblehead, kind of, And, like, can you imagine your entire season, like your whole life for a whole year of like being on a show is evolving around this like churchy couple and like when you're friends with Jax Taylor, like, and what a missed opportunity.
You're sticking up for Jax, and interjecting a conversation that has nothing to do with you, being like, we have to remember he was doing cocaine for 10 years and it's going to take a while for him to, get his footing and be a good guy. First of all, he's never shown us he was a good guy. His sister said, this is how he has always acted pre-cocaine, okay? And you're standing up for this guy, but then you are gunning so hard for Mr. Disney, for the church guy, for the 4 under 4 dad of the year who's helping with the breastfeeding and the fucking night changes and all this. Yeah. That's your horse, Jason? Yeah. Like, you're putting it all on Jax Taylor, and you can't see at all that, like, you're defending the indefensible?
I need to add one more thing about Jax. This is from the early days. I think that Jax is obviously who he is. Like, there's no getting around that. But I don't know if you remember, but the entire first season, the story was, he's with Stassi, and the whole thing for the entire season was, did he cheat on Stassi with this girl in Vegas? I'm not joking you when I tell you, first of all, Jax seemed totally normal in season 1, totally
frighteningly believable.
Nobody, because I will say that like people are all covering for each other as the years go on, but that first season, the whole story was, did he or didn't he cheat on this woman? Everybody, Katie Maloney on Team Jax, when Stassi was like, I heard this rumor, and they ended up separating from Stassi and staying on Team Jax for an entire season. I now, like every single person, Sheena, Stassi, Tom and like who, like I feel like Lisa, like all of them were just like, I don't think he did this. I think the guy that told you this is trying to date you. So of course he's going to say this thing. Like he just has all the reason to. and then Stassi left him because she just believed it in her gut, and she started dating that other guy. They wouldn't even like ride in the car with him. Like they all went to Vegas for someone else's birthday. I think it was for Stassi's birthday. The girls wouldn't even let her bring the dude in their car because they were on the side of Jax, because Jax was riding with the guy, or Jax was going to come and surprise her, and they wanted nothing to do with this guy, and they were all like, I just don't think Jax would do that. There's no evidence of Jax doing that. Jax would never do that. They all believed it. I think that Jax's real problems, like obviously they were always there, but it was the fucking camera that changed his life. Because after that first season, that was it. He was instantly the most deplorable man starting season 2. It was just the one season that hadn't aired yet. He was fine. And then I think it was the camera.
No, I really don't think so, because his sister, his flesh and blood said he has always been this way. He has always been a liar. He has always been a narcissist. This is his behavior. Like, baby, I was born that way.
Well, then he fooled his entire group of friends.
Yeah,
but they had known him. These weren't new friends. They had all known each other for several, like not just like a couple years, like a very long time.
Yeah, but they were also like, they were all partying together. They were all drinking together. They were all
So how did
together.
they never see Jax do any of this stuff?
No, I'm sure they did. I'm sure that they just like made excuses. Like, think about like certain friends.
I don't know if they did this. I don't think that those people saw it yet. This is like, I would never in a million years say this. Like,
but he
I
did
just
cheat,
watched.
But he did cheat on her.
Yes,
that's the thing. So I'm saying, like, because you know how we always say when you meet someone, you first meet the representative, and then finally, like, you meet who they actually are.
Yeah,
I think he was just able, because he's so skilled at lying. Because, like his sister said, this is how he's always been. I think he was able to keep that up for a really long time.
Yeah.
And
if you don't see a difference between season 1 and season 2, that's all I'm saying. Like something happened.
Okay.
that gave him the green light
to be more of a monster.
To be like, here it all is. Like, you meet him and you really believe he didn't do this. If you ever thought you could maybe believe Jax Taylor wouldn't do anything, that happened to me this week. Like, I saw it. I witnessed it. Like, wow, no one.
You got jaxed.
I got jaxed.
The other part of this little, like, Janet, Zach, and Kristen jumps in and whatever, and Brittany, whatever, it involves all of them. That it was at the end of it that just made my head want to explode, is when this is the thing. They're all such bad arguers. So Janet goes, they were talking about how, I guess, she put up a post about Brittany for her birthday, and then she got pissy at Brittany for doing something. And I don't know if it was like hanging out with Zach or something like that. And so then she took the post down. Honestly, that is the most childish, ridiculous thing. Like, if by the way, Brittany, you always say, well, she's nice to me. No, she isn't. That's not a nice thing. If you put up a fucking birthday post about me, Natalie, and took it down, short of finding out that I have had sexual relations with Mark Connors over here, like, then take the post down. But like, what?
If I'm putting a post together and I actually do the nice filter and write a good edit it, that thing's staying up for the rest of my fucking life,
and that's why we're best friends. But honestly, it's like, you take the fucking post down, and then Kristen, I think it was Kristen said to Janet, she goes, I never speak ill of you to Brittany. And she goes, yes, you do. You question Brittany. Like, are you hanging out with Janet? Like, why are you hanging out with Janet? And she goes, that's not speaking ill of you. I'm asking Brittany a question. And by the way, you do the same thing to Brittany about Zach. And she's like, again, it's the thing with why I believe the thing with the married woman with Jesse, because they didn't fight back with it.
Yeah.
And that's when Brittany chimes in and she's like, I know, and I shouldn't be, but you didn't do that, but you did, but you're both all good friends to me. And it's like, that's a shit friend, Brittany.
Yeah.
And stop lying for people, because you lied for Jax, and now you're sitting here saying that Janet didn't say anything about Zach or Kristen. And Kristen goes, you've showed me the text messages of when she said unsavory things about me.
Yeah. I want to tell everyone on this stage, why are you all fighting for Britney's affections? Like, who gives a shit what this little Kentucky muffin, what she's doing? Like, she's useless to me at this point. Like, you know what I realized? I was like thinking about everything about her that wasn't Jax centric. She is done not on camera. We constantly hear these things being brought up from these like backstory conversations that weren't on camera, and she's always involved in them, but she's never been a part of anything that was filmed that didn't have to do with Jax. And every conversation that she has that means anything about anything, she has it behind off camera. I find Britney to be a very lazy person. Like I don't know what the sparkle is around her that everyone's like, no, she's my friend. No, she's my let him have her. Whoever wants her, take her.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not totally.
She's not the greatest friend. She pretty much just says whatever the person in front of her wants to hear. It seems like.
But we've talked about this before with Jax, like how when the studio guy comes or the network guy or girl comes to set because so and so's there and they want to bring their kids to watch the rehearsals or whatever, like. And they're an idiot. They don't know what they're a lawyer. They're a accountant. Like you're good at that, but you don't know how to make a TV show, right? And then you start, but everyone's kissing their ass. When the wife comes, she's also getting her ass kissed too, because that's his wife or her husband or whoever. Like, so right now, like if they were all on Jax's cock for like, oh, I got to keep my job and da da da. Well, he's out. That's the wife of the boss. The boss, I'm using air quotes. So naturally, everyone would be on her jock or think like, oh, if Jax is gone now, I got to be on Britney's.
Well,
like,
I would think that totally, and I was totally on board with this. I would think that easily for Janet and Jason. I think that's exactly what happened. But Kristen she is a heavyweight. You could just be friends with Kristen. This is Kristen's show. Like it was Kristen and Jax's. Now it's clearly Kristen's. Clearly they didn't all know that, but like you only need one of them.
Maybe it's because they have such history.
They didn't know that at the time. Like I don't even know if Kristen.
You know that Kristen is always been. It's always been Kristen and Jax are the OGs that. And if you also go back to watch Kristen, she really will keep it like she's all you need. She is
a firecracker.
Yeah, and and she annoys the shit out of me. And on Vanderpump, oh my God, it is a nightmare to watch her. But she's right. She never lied. And it seems like she's lying and exaggerating the entire way through. And then when you go back and look at all the things that she made a big fucking stink about, she was right about every single one of them. The only thing that isn't really like proven is the Miami girl thing, but like
we know.
Watch the scene. Like the girl clearly did
Wait,
it.
But didn't she lie about? Because remember when her and Jax hooked up on had sex on the couch?
Yeah. But I mean, whenever she would go around and try to
like
get involved in everyone else's business and be like, he did that, she did that. Yeah.
Got it.
And also, I don't think she ever really knew whether or not Schwartz had sex with the girl. She, I think, just assumed like everyone's having sex with everyone. So she just assumed it. I just personally, when Schwartz said like, I mean, I was totally blackout, but like, I would know if I had sex. Like, it was genuine to me. It was just a look about him, and I could be totally snowed by Schwartz. Everyone knows my affections for him. But anyhow, yeah, it's weird to look back because she was in everyone's business, but she was right about all of it.
I do love that. I do love the rewatch and being able to connect all the dots in real time.
Yeah, still very annoying. Oh God, Kristen, never go back, please, God, please.
Yeah, I really love this version of Kristen. She is her best self currently.
Yeah.
The next little chunk, and it was just a small thing when they went to revisit like what had happened in Santee B, and I think the only part of it where I was really, oh my God, so happy to hear this is when, and we talked about this a lot, when Jesse said, as soon as I hit that text message, I knew I fucked up. I knew I shouldn't have sent it. And so I made up the lie to say, oh, I'm trying to smoke Adam whole. And we were talking about if that was BS or not. And I know that I definitively was like, that's not what he was trying to do. There's just no way he was trying to smoke out a mole. And I like that at least he copped to it. What?
You believe that, but nothing else that he said? That's funny.
Well, I don't know. Like what? Tell me. I mean, I don't believe a lot of what Jesse said. Correct. That is absolutely accurate. But no, like I said, when he said about Janet, I believed him. I thought that was good advice.
Yeah, no, I was so glad to hear him say that about Janet because he just, like I said, didn't everything else he talks about, like I got no use for Jesse's marriage story anymore. I don't fucking care. I don't care about Michelle. She's so annoying to me. She's the one that's in the right, if there is a right and a wrong between these two schmoes. But I am just moving on already. Oh my God,
Yeah,
please move
I
on
feel
from this
similarly.
stupid marriage that like only these two could find themselves in for 8.5 years. The other thing about what he said though about oh, my thing is that I hate cheaters. Like I know that person. Like Mike fucking hates cheaters. Mike wants to have nothing to do with cheaters. I was watching a podcast the other day about some podcasters I don't even fucking listen to, but like one of them, just like a clip that I saw of him saying like, I won't go into business with anyone that cheats on their wife. Like why? The one person that's on your team, that's your partner, you're going to fuck that person over? Why would I ever get into business with you? Like, which made so much sense to me. But when Jesse says that, and he says, that he has a big problem with cheaters and people who cheat. And I'm like, is this your friend Jax over here?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that your good buddy from like however long? Like,
El Primo numero uno cheater extraordinaire.
Yeah. But I do believe though that he never cheated on Michelle. Cause I don't think he's a cheater. I think that he's too busy like planning like world domination and like to get like to even notice like a piece of tail over here that he could easily bang. Like he just seems to be like caught up in other things.
If he was the guy that was hooking up with the married woman, he wouldn't consider that cheating because he was single.
Yeah, but I still don't know like the way that whole thing went down.
Cheaters.
But he wasn't cheating.
But she was. And he doesn't like cheaters. He doesn't want anything to do with cheaters. She was cheating.
No.
He was also.
He doesn't say I don't like cheaters. He goes, cheating is my one thing. That's what he said. And the way I took that is like he knew that was like the one thing that like I could never forgive. I could never come back from.
Did you not just tell a whole story about him saying that he wouldn't go into business with someone because he doesn't?
That was a podcaster that I like. I can't remember what they're not on the show. I was just saying that I had listened to this thing about that. And so I understand that person and I understand that those people exist. And I think that Jesse could have found himself being very staunch against cheaters because for some reason, Jesse's just not a cheater, just like happens to not be one. So he has found like this like virtue to like.
It's your one redeeming quality and you're going to fucking die on that hill.
When it's like, well, you never wanted to. It doesn't really seem like you ever really like, cause I mean, maybe he did. I don't fucking know. But like, it just,
I don't think he did.
I could just see him not being the guy that cheats.
Yeah.
I just think his head's at other places. But what he said, cheating is a thing. That's my one thing. But then he also says, I don't like cheaters or people who cheat. Like he said that in addition to.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's what maybe you're referring to.
Both things.
Got it. Our next
hair.
little segmento is getting into the Danny drinking thing. And it's just, thank God we don't have to talk about this guy for that much longer. When Danny started off by saying like, listen, I got to take a breath because I need to just state the fact that before the season started, like Jax, like we knew Jax was gunning for us, specifically me. And he starts going into why he felt that. And Jax is like, no, wait, hold on. Let me say something. And this troglodyte opens his mouth and he's like, because, I thought like you guys knew someone and you were getting a good edit. And literally Nia's like, who do we know?
Yeah.
We don't know anyone at Bravo.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? And then he quickly pivots because he knows, again, it's like, this was my analogy that I was thinking when I was watching him. Like, listen, Mike Tyson was at his prime, the greatest fighter in the world. When he came back to have that fight that I think, didn't we watch it or something?
Yeah.
That with the Netflix guy, or what is he, a YouTuber or something who he fought?
I can't remember.
Is that what he is, Mike, a YouTuber?
He's a boxer, but.
Okay, yeah. And it was like, it was just so sad to watch him do this. And I really like Mike Tyson, but it's like, there was no fight left in this dog. There was nothing left for, like, you knew he was just there for the paycheck. And that's what it feels like watching Jax. It feels like someone who like him or hate him, and I can't stand him. He at least came to fucking play when he was on the show before with the lying and the fucking all the shit. Like he would argue and double down and triple down. And now he's just like going from when he said to Brittany, he's like, you used me to get on reality TV. And she goes, you came up to me. You hit on me.
Yeah.
I am here. And he's like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Like he just rolled over. He's like the old fighter that shouldn't be in the ring anymore. Thank God he is not going to be in the ring. But back to why I thought of this.
You know, really, I'm sorry. I'm realizing he did that always. He fights so hard where like venom is shooting out of him, and then it just takes one person to go, that's not what happened. He goes, fine. Like,
oh God, I didn't remember. I remembered him like continuously like doubling down on his lies.
if
going
like
so
nobody
hard.
like when it was like a cheating thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. When
Okay.
it was other things, he would just go like, I don't know. Who can tell? Who can know all these things? Like they would just be like very
Got
much
it.
like, no, I never said I was perfect. You're like, nobody said you were. You don't need to tell me.
Yeah. He still does. I will say though, he still does seem like the bloated, older person that should not be in the ring fighting anymore. But the reason I thought of it was because, when she goes, who do we know at Bravo? Like, that's just such a ridiculous thing to say, Jackson. He goes, this is an apology. And it's like, on what planet? An apology starts off with, I want to just take a minute to say, I am so sorry for everything I've done.
Yeah.
And let me list them so I can be clear about it.
Yeah.
Not saying like I went in on you because I heard you were getting a good edit because you knew someone on the show. How the fuck is that an apology?
I don't know, man. This fucking guy.
Nuts, banana cakes.
Yeah.
Off the reservation.
If they, oh my God, I'm telling you, it's so weird. Because if Jax is just like on a break or whatever, if they bring back Tom, Jax will be back the following season. 100%, I guarantee it. Because they're going to want to recreate the magic, and you will see Jax acting in a way that he did before. It's not likable, but it is the most likable time that Jax has ever had, was when he had these two dudes with him, because they just all were bros. They were truly, whatever their definition of it was, like they really rode for each other, and it's insane. But they won't pass that opportunity up to get these three individuals back together. If they bring those two back, if they bring Tom and Tom back next season, Jax will be back the following season. That's my bet.
I really.
No, I same.
Again, Jason had a
interesting.
real great, by great, I'm layering that with sarcasm. I hope it comes across, moment in this segment where he goes, can anyone tell me what Janet has done? What did she do? And Nia, so calmly, because she's the fucking best, she's like, I can. And she said
Immediately, I love that. Yeah.
So level-headed. And she just said, they talked about how before the season started, Janet came up to her and said, like, listen, I'm worried about whatever is going on with Danny. And Nia said, right. And that felt genuine because you came to me, we talked about it, you did it off camera, and then you wouldn't stop bringing it up as soon as those cameras started rolling. Yeah. And you were bringing up other examples of you thinking that he has an issue, not just with drinking, but assaulting people.
Yeah.
And you're not involved in any of this. And you didn't come to me from a place of like, I'm really worried. This is affecting Jasmine. Can we talk about this? You used it as a gotcha moment, time and time again. And just went right over Jason's head. Janet's not getting it. But I just thought Nia couldn't have reacted better.
Perfect. Oh, I can. Like, that was perfect.
Yeah. The only other thing I thought was just so fucking Janet. That was like, oh my God. When she got again, the pearl clutcher, like, and he called me a snake.
That's the best
that is so not like a horrible thing to listen. Is it a compliment? Of course
no.
not.
If someone said that to me, I that would be massively hurtful. But for Janet, it is really there's a plethora of worse things you could be called. Just get over it.
And she does snake her way into situations that have nothing to do with her. And then she goes after people. She's venomous. She is like, he's not totally off when he says that about her. And I just think that I'm not calling her a snake. I'm just saying like her actions, like you gotta look, if everyone's saying you're dead, you gotta lie down. Like if everyone's saying this, you gotta look at what am I not seeing? What am I not hearing? And I just feel
not
like,
if you just want to stay on, like the only reason that you're here,
Sure.
these people aren't your friends, that your one friend who is Brittany is causing you a lot of grief. Like you're constantly having to wake up and like fight for her every day and like, and feel insecure. Like she's hanging out with other people and you're not invited and they're probably talking about you and what she's saying. Like that is so much stress. Like I can't remember. I can remember being in that dynamics with other girls in like junior high school. Like that's how old, like I would never deal with any of that. If someone doesn't want to be my friend, frankly, it's like a relief most of the time. Like that it's just like, oh, it's just like one other thing you don't have to schedule with someone and like try to like figure out how you're going to get your work done before. Yeah. Like, or explain like why you're still doing a free YouTube show at 29. I appreciate when people just kind of, bow out in that way. But this is how you know that all she cares about is being on this TV show because she is fighting so hard and using everyone else's problems just to have something to talk about when a camera is pointed at her. And these aren't your friends, bro. You must have better friends. You must.
I just would want to be portrayed in a different light.
Clearly the producers don't like you.
Yeah, no, you
no
can
one's
tell.
doing you any favors.
Andy's going after her. You can her edit, like you can just tell she's not a favored.
Yeah,
cast.
Go back to Watch What Happens Live when they give her all those polls, and Andy just goes. She's like literally in the middle of like explaining as to like why this thing happened. He goes, 95% landslide. Wow, landslide. There was 5%.
Oh no, sorry, a few more votes just trickling in.
Yeah,
98%.
98%. And then even when she got the 3 or 5%, he goes, do we have some Capernas voting from home? Like there was just some family members. Yeah. Like clearly no one likes this girl. Yeah. It's something.
And she did say like, oh my God, this has all been so hard. And of course I have empathy for people. I don't want anyone being like attacked or whatever. But what she's not understanding is just like the direct karmic boomerang of, but you kept attacking people, specifically like the sweetest couple on the show. And I get it. You really feel strongly that there's an issue here. But if this was your friend, which obviously like it keeps getting brought up, like these people are not your real friends, you are not friends. Then if you're going to then do that, if these aren't your real friends and you don't care that you're going after the pretty, pretty princess and her, Aladdin and Jasmine or whatever Disney couple, then you got to take it on the chin when everyone's coming after you because you chose to be the villain. Yeah. Because you don't get to play smart and stupid at the same time. You don't get to be the villain and everybody's favorite character. Yeah. They're going to love to hate you or hate to hate you, but they're not going to love you because you're not playing that role.
That's true.
So that's just my years of dedication that can tell you these really beautiful points of like I said, I never thought this would come in handy.
Oh yeah. When they were talking about Jax being like, oh, we were your friend. Well, I can't remember how it comes in, but like, because I feel like this was earlier. He says. Kristen says something like, why don't you like call your friends? Why don't you call me? Why don't you call Luke? And he goes, I can't call you. You guys hate me. And Kristen goes, I don't hate you. Nobody here's hate you. And Zach goes, I hate you.
That's why he's the number one guy in the group.
I hate you.
I love that. That's what I'm saying. His sidebars were my favorite part of the app.
I know. And then when Jax got so irritated with him and was like, fucking Lego.
Yeah, and we're legettes or whatever Zach fans are.
It looks like he did something. It looks like he did the Teresa.
I don't know. No, I think what had happened was there was just so much hair. Like this is his. I have a 3 head. I do not have. I'm like Teresa. I don't have a 4 head. Like Teresa. Okay, maybe she has like a 2 head, but I definitely have a 3 head. It's not like a plastic surgeon once, or not a plastic surgeon, a dermatologist once told me that I should never get Botox because my forehead's too small for it. And so at any rate, I think that Zach has a normal size forehead, but because he had so much hair blocked in front of it because he was dipping it down. Yeah. And today he got a lift. They just took the hair and went boop. and you're like, oh, there it is. There's that cute little forehead.
If that's all he needed to do, it's lost
more
on me how
often.
he never did that. That's why I feel like he might have like shaved a quarter inch.
I'm telling you, they literally just, instead of letting it
Yeah,
go
no,
dip
that
down
would
and
make the most sense.
Yeah.
But what makes no sense is why this has been an insecurity of his. Like they've teased him about it forever. Why did it take him 2 full seasons to just do that?
I don't think he understood.
How not to push your hair up?
I think he's thinking like they're all, also the dye.
You don't think he understood?
Like, I don't think he understood like how to fix this problem for some weird reason. Or maybe he didn't think like, oh, again, it could be the Lindsay thing. Like, they don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no, this is, you wish you had this
don't
head
know.
of hair. It's also because he dyes his hair that makes it look blocky.
Oh, yeah. The other thing that I can't even believe that it took me this long to notice. But then I guess not, because they weren't pregnant during the season. But Janet's whole entire first season was all about like, I'm pregnant. Don't yell at me. I can't talk to you. I'm pregnant. Oh, you're going to stress out the baby, whatever. These 2 bitches across from her are like ready to pop. And she's just going at them just no self-awareness at all. Like that was your whole season. That was your whole season story was, I can't deal with this. I'm pregnant. Even they joke about it. Zach says, remember he says, I think that Janet got pregnant just so she could do this whole season and I couldn't step to her.
Yes. But that's what I'm talking about when I brought up how Kristen goes, I never speak ill of you to Brittany. And she goes, well, you say, why are you hanging out with her? And she goes, that's what you say to Brittany about Zach.
Yeah. I know. I loved it when Zach's like, my head's about to explode.
Yeah.
Like what is
Me
this
too,
Twilight
Zachy
Zone?
poo.
Yeah. Also when Janet says to Zach, like, first of all, she tries to act like the reason that she's still mad at him is because, like, are you ever going to apologize? And he's like, I've apologized countless times. And then Andy interjects and goes, he's apologized 100 times for this. Are you? And Andy let himself look tired because I just think that Andy knows when to be on and when to be like, whatever. He was like,
and we love that about you, Andy.
she's apologized for this 500 times. Can we get past this? Is there anything she could say to like, let's get past this or whatever? And Janet, the nerve of this fucking idiot to go, well, I'm going to need to see a lot more from him before I like, and Zach's face was just like, well, you're not gonna. So, but it was like,
you are. You're going to see the white of my ass when you're kissing it.
like Janet to even think that like you could, you're going to be expecting a little of this and a little of that before you make any big life decisions about it. Like, you're no one. You are less than no one. And Kristen will tell her that on this. If you see the clip, I encourage you to just watch it now. It is so good.
But how great that Zach is the fan favorite and everyone has turned on Janet.
Yeah.
Because Janet put Zach through so much shit.
And all Zach, we're all now learning that Zach just wanted to be cool with Janet. Like,
that's it.
Like for the longest time. Now I think he's past the point.
Oh, he's done.
Yeah, he's done.
He passed
but
that
like,
exit
that
100
was
miles
for
ago.
a long time. That was the deal.
So the last segment is, this was a wild segment to watch. It's the Danny Jasmine stuff again. And I genuinely, I wasn't kidding. I genuinely am confused. Is she still upset at him for what had happened at Jax's bar on Halloween? Are you clear on it?
Not really.
Are
like,
you, Mike?
I'm not clear on anything. It did seem like they left it. Like it seemed like what we talked about last week, which this whole episode seems like what we've talked about every episode prior, but that they were at the first thing at the white party. I wasn't acceptable apology or whatever.
Yeah.
It seems like that's what they're talking about.
Oh, okay. That's what I was taking it as at first. And then because they kept going with it and Jasmine's still like, it felt like she was still talking about it as though she was still harboring resentment and anger towards him for this.
I mean,
in present day.
She probably is. They probably, because why not? Why wouldn't they?
No,
Yeah, because
why not bring it into
nothing.
season 3 and 4 and 17?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking
Nobody
too.
has any fucking thing going on.
Yeah.
All they have are these stupid fucking 3 or 4 storylines. They're going to run with them. These producers suck. These people suck. Their lives fucking suck. They have nothing going on. And somebody was like, I got an idea. Let's do a reality show about a bunch of fucking assholes who have nothing going on. And here's what you get. You get this. You get the same thing week after week after week. Nothing new. No new takes. No new anything. We're still talking about this stupid fucking thing. What did you say? This happened in the first episode?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I just watched episode 16 or 17. This is fucking ridiculous. Like,
But I also think, I agree with you, but I also think that if you are going to say, I will never forgive you for this was unexcusable behavior, irreparable damage has been done, then stop making up.
Yeah.
Then stop saying like,
Be like, I don't
accept
fuck with
this
him.
apology.
Yeah, I don't fuck with them.
That's it.
That's
And
it.
just
That's
keep
all.
it
And
moving.
nobody would care. Literally, no one would care. You want to know why? Because even if you did care, it's such a thing that like nobody wants to speak on. If that's like an experience that you had, especially with a black woman, and a lesbian wife or girlfriend, fiance, like nobody wants to speak on these things. So like you'd be in the clear. You don't fuck with them, and we're all
we're
for
with
it.
ya.
We're
Great.
with you. Yeah, but we got our fists up and we're here for it, and go with God. But you need this. I would not be surprised if like it's a slow roll next season. Because who knows? I would not be shocked if they.
I need the storyline to die.
No, I do too. But
Not because I'm trying to excuse the bad behavior.
no, but it's just like because you have to. There has to be resolve.
Yes.
Like or there's just there.
Or I don't fuck with him.
Either one. Pick one, and we're
Pick
here
a
for it.
lane.
Yeah, I will still bring this again back to just like that random epiphany that I had halfway through the season where I like about it being shown to us in a flashback. We are having one of the biggest conversations of the year
Right.
about something that they chose to just trickle out little by little here and there down the way. We're hearing little discussions. We're hearing little pieces. Brittany's talking about what was that? What conversation was that? No, that wasn't. Oh, that they had this elsewhere, whatever. And her best point has always been that she was extra irritated and frustrated and just kind of hell bent on it because it seemed like because she was in a lesbian relationship and it was two women, it was not being treated as it would have been treated had it been a heterosexual couple, which I
get
totally fucking get.
completely.
Andy totally fucking gets. Well, that's the same thing the network did to her storyline to begin with by showing it in a flashback.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that with any of the other casts.
No, you're totally right.
And I mean, it's one thing, like you couldn't even show the apology in real time. And we were there for it. We're like, I bet you if they widened up that shot a bit, you would see Janet and Kristen in another corner with cameras on, all the cameras on her, like, and they just decided that was more interesting. Two white women fighting about nothing really, like just some bullshit rumors and what someone said on a podcast, as opposed to these three people
Having this
having a very real
legitimate
conversation
about something that should be talked about.
Yeah. And then you're going to talk about it all season, but like, it was just like, it's like that was it in Big Daddy when Adam Sandler is yelling at the homeless guy? The homeless guy is yelling at Adam Sandler and Adam finally goes, "You're not mad at me, you're mad at your dad." And the homeless guy goes, "I am mad at my dad." I know it's a stupid analogy, but like, that's what I always think of when I see somebody being so pissed and yelling and screaming at something. And it's like, you're not really, Danny's really, like Danny did a thing, but like, the people that were supposed to be protecting you, the people that are like have the insurance for this, and like and choose where the camera and the therapists are, like all the things, and speak all the big game in like the once a year sexual harassment training thing that you got to go to and whatever. The bajillion-dollar bucks here are all that should have been behind you, were not, and so you're yelling at Danny, great, like you should yell at him and then he should apologize and then we should move on.
The two things besides everything that you just said, because I agree with all of that also struck me, and this is kind of not against Jasmine, but like a little bit, were when she goes, when we were having that conversation at the white party in the first episode or whatever, you said, "I can't believe we're talking about this again." And when they rolled the tape, that's not what he said. And you could tell when she brought it up, which, by the way, here's the thing. She has every right to bring it up. She can bring it up whenever she wants, however that's fine. That's not what I have an issue with. But it's not what he said. And if you are watching his face, he was surprised because he genuinely thought, whether it's the truth or not, that she received, not the truth, like he didn't know that she didn't receive the apology. He thought it was okay. Like, you know, when you make up with someone after a fight, but they haven't really let it go. And then a month later, like they snap at you for something and it's like, oh, this is not about us making dinner. This is because you're still pissed at me for something.
Yeah.
And so he just said, oh no, I didn't know we were going to do this.
Yeah. He says,
here.
are we doing this right now? Or are we?
No, he goes, I didn't know this was going to get brought up.
Oh, I don't even remember it. I thought he said something like, are we really doing this right now? But I thought he was just trying to say, like, I didn't know, like, haven't we already done this?
Right.
And are we going to do it again
like,
right now on
I
camera?
didn't know we were talking about this again because I thought we had resolved there. And it's okay. Like, this is what I keep saying, and I said it in the beginning. We can't keep, like, and I get it, of course, things unfold and you feel differently, but, like, maybe just on the third time, we got to say, like, okay, either I don't fuck with this person or I do accept this apology. Or just genuinely realize, like, he didn't realize that, like, because I didn't communicate it well, that, like, I still wasn't okay with it, or I didn't know in the moment when he apologized. I just took it because I know Danny's a good guy and I wanted to receive that apology. But after I sat with it, I still felt fucked up about it. And so I wanted to bring it up again, and I can bring it up again. If she said it like that, as opposed to this accusatory, like, didn't know we were doing it, because that's not how he said it. And then she misheard him in the after show when Danny said, like, and here she is bringing it up again. And everybody knew he was talking about Janet. And Jasmine was so pissed at him.
Yeah.
Because she is still so pissed at him. Like, I actually just had this happen with a friend where he was having a disagreement with someone that he worked with. And this person sent him an email. And in the email, they had complimented something that, like, was this work project. But he couldn't even hear it. He goes, so when he finished reading me the email, I was like, well, at least they complimented you here. And he goes, no, they didn't. And I was like, yeah, they did. And he's like, wait, I got to go read it back again. And when he reread the email, he goes, oh my God, I'm just so mad at this person that I can't hear anything coming from their lips that isn't like an attack on me.
Yeah.
And so I think she's still so mad at Danny that she is mishearing what he's saying, like in the first scene, like in the after show. And that's why it's like, okay, then you now, Jasmine, have to get clear on where you stand with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though I get, like, you were the one that it happened to, and I feel badly for you. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying, like, it muddies, it doesn't help your healing process to not, whatever.
Yeah.
Get clear with it. I think we did it. Oh, no. Basically, at the very end, which will lead us into the top of the third part of this, is when Janet says, like, it's not an isolated incident. It happened again at a Super Bowl party.
No, Andy has to call her out and be like, he grabbed
girl.
someone else's ass on, like,
Super Bowl
where
Sunday?
was this? Yeah, when did this? And no, we didn't say that. Well, she didn't say that. She said it happened again.
Yeah.
Which it was ass grabbing, and she continues to call him that through the end of it. Or maybe that's in. God, I don't know where the clip starts and where the end of this.
Yeah.
Or where the clip begins and the end is. I don't know. But she calls him an ass grabber again at some point. She whispers it. Says the ass grabber. She says it again. Do you remember when Jason brings up a time that he had a real heart-to-heart with Jax, like a FaceTime?
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yes, the answer to that question is yes, I do remember it.
So did you ever come across anything on social media where it shows that Jason had the phone changed? He was on the phone. He was doing the FaceTime. Do you remember? Did I tell you about this, or did you ever come across it? The whole scene, if you watch the whole scene, you see that at one point it's an Android, and at one point it's a iPhone. And so when you're going back to look at when they bring this scene in again, Janet looks like she's just like doing whatever, kind of listening, whatever. And then when they cut to a different shot, Janet's like tearing
Crying.
up at what Jax is saying. And now I want to go back and watch that because I remember being like, oh God, like, you know, you catch these things like when we watched Southern Charm and I was like, Austin had a handkerchief and longer hair in like, they just tried to they just tried to add to this, but like he fucking took the thing home from wardrobe and never brought it back. And now he doesn't have it. So at first I just thought, who really cares? Is it that big of a deal? But now I'm kind of convinced myself that they went back to get reaction shots from Janet, like so the phone was maybe different because Jason has an Android. They always make fun of him that he ruins the group or when he was in it. It's because he'd make it green or whatever. Like they make fun of him for having an Android. I think that Janet has an iPhone. So I don't know, like this whole thing is speculation, but I just remember thinking, why are they making such a big deal about this? But maybe this is why I saw all those clips about it. Notice she's bit my toe, like literally bit.
Mini Poppins. Maybe she's Huggies.
She probably is. But I like if they got
Not
some
even.
extra coverage of Janet tearing up, that
irked me so much when I saw her behave that way when the false tears.
Yeah.
Or to me it read as false.
Oh,
How
it's
about that?
so false because Janet is she's shown us nothing. It's not that I don't think that Janet has feelings. I think that Janet probably has some friends that she does care about. I think that while she is filming this show, she is on a planet of her own with a single like focus.
Well,
and so it like can't like nothing comes into play. Like yeah, and how Kristen said the thing about how totally different people.
Yeah, at the top of the show, she was just like, the Janet on this show is not the Janet that I knew and was friends with.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you could see it because Janet's had other friends. Like Ariana talks about being friends with Janet.
Yeah.
Like I don't think Ariana's friends with someone like Janet. If this is who Janet is all the time, I think that the camera, just like I think that it did with Jax, how I think it totally brought out like all these things are there, they're in there, but like something about a cameraman
adds 10 pounds and a narcissist gene.
One thing I like noticed at the top was when they were talking about, you know, Jax trying to like play off that like, oh, I don't even think she ever even really liked me, you know, these DMs I was getting. But like everyone was kind of talking and arguing. And he says, I'm not even her type. I don't even think she normally goes for guys like me. And then something else he said, like, she's like, I would just be back in Kentucky with a, you know, regular, I don't know what she said. He goes, a basketball player.
Yeah.
I think that Jax was trying to insinuate that Brittany only likes black men. That's who, I think he was actually trying to say that about her, even though like, we have watched this girl live and breathe and die for this dumbass all these years and watched him treat her horribly and her still stay and genuinely cry and the rotten hell and the, like, I mean, it could, sure. She definitely, I think, figured out like, well, if I leave him now, I'm on a show now. I don't like, I'm not saying that doesn't come into play, but I do think that Brittany really loved Jax Taylor.
I completely agree with that.
Was definitely attracted to him. As barf-tastic as that is, she wanted him.
It also really irritates the shit out of me when you've had like a good and loyal partner, regardless of what you think about Brittany. Like she wasn't cheating on him. She was like, you know, is a great mom to their child. I do think she tried to make a really lovely home for them, whatever. And he tries to blame part of the what's it called when something falls apart? The brain fog with the mold is so real. The decomposition of their marriage.
Oh yeah.
On the fact that like, well, I was never your type in the first place, and it's like, no. Do not blame the fact that we didn't have sex for the last 2 years on the fact that you're not my type. Do not blame the fact that our marriage is ending right now on the fact that you're not my type. Stop. You obviously are my type. I've spent 10 years with you. I had a child with you.
Yeah.
I'm the one who screwed your brains out when you cheated on me with that girl. I'm the one who kept coming back. Like, we are here as a unit, as a family, for as long as we were here doing this charade.
Yeah. Oh, because long after the show's over, she talks about how she's the only earner, and like you could have left him then, and nobody would have blamed you. You could have just been like, "Oh, I found some DMs," and we would have been like, "Good Godspeed!" Like,
thank God.
Yeah, like get going. Like
it's just such a shitty cop out. Like it's just a way to be like, "Oh, I'm not totally to blame because I was never her type anyway," and it's like, okay.
Yeah. Do you remember when Ariana's brother chimed in and said, I saw Jason take his ring off? I was there. Remember I put that thing up? I know that he's also had his meetings with the show. I don't know what their deal is with him, but if he comes on, it's clearly to just blow that whole thing up again. And I was trying to think, like, if people like watching Jax get fired was like so amazing. Like that, I really just feel like the country earned that moment, and watching these subsequent episodes, knowing that he doesn't know yet that he's fired, and just getting to like, it's just like, it's enjoyable if you're a real asshole like me. And I'm wondering if people would rather like Janet and Jason stay if it meant that you got to watch someone come in and basically like blow up Jason's spot, and like he gets to crumble on TV, like just a Jason takedown and a Janet humbling. Would you rather see that, or would you rather just never see their stupid faces ever again?
Door number 2.
Yeah. Would love to hear what everyone thinks.
Actually, maybe do a poll.
Yeah, because I'm also into door number 2. But there is, like I said, I'm just like swimming in this like wonderful lake of like Jack's takedown, and like it's so good that I'm just wondering if anybody loathes Janet and Jason that much now. And we've had so many years of build up for this, and so this is just a short run for them. So I assume everyone's going to be door number 2, but I'd like to know anyways. And then the other last thing. Oh, I just want to add some. Wait, does anyone else have anything else?
Nope.
Okay. One last thing I wanted to add about this whole conversation of what we've been having all year about narcissism. I am totally down with like the idea or the fact that like there is no cure for this. There is no medicine. Wild. I know it's wild. I kind of wish people would stop, as much as I'm on board with it. I think a better way to handle this would to address it. Like, you also can't cure alcoholism. Like, there's no medicine for alcoholism. It's a disease. And I understand narcissism is a personality disorder or a form of a personality. I don't want to overspeak. I don't know a ton, but I feel like if like for alcoholism, like first step is admitting you got a problem that you are powerless over. I think that just because you don't feel empathy, you could probably acknowledge that you have a problem with not feeling empathy and feeling self-important or self-whatever, understanding that you are powerless over it, and maybe finding like, there's got to be a 12-step program. There's got to be like, not that there has to be one, but like, I just think that if people could take that approach to narcissism, it's a day-by-day thing. It's like how Shane says, I'm not going to drink today.
Yeah.
I'll drink tomorrow.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe I'll drink tomorrow, but not today. I feel nothing. I'm going to feel something for someone today. Not tomorrow, but like, or just like,
it makes it doable. Like, just stay in this moment.
It's a program.
And see where I could feel. I think this is a brilliant idea, by the way.
Like, you can't just throw all these people. I mean,
but it wouldn't be anonymous because they all want to know. They want the shot.
Totally. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just think it would be more of it's a program. You got to work the program of narcissism. And I think like with, it wasn't that long ago that people didn't understand alcoholism.
Totally.
And I know that because Sheena Shea, when she was dealing with Shay's alcoholism, she's telling Shay is a straight up addict. Like, it is clear as day to anyone that watches it now. Yeah. I would have thought that even at that time I would have like known that, but she was like, babe, I'm not asking you to not drink at all. I'm just saying, like, dial it back, you know? But like, this guy's clear as day is an addict. He's emptying the bank account.
The dial's broken.
Yeah,
Like, he can't dial it back.
Yeah, he's taking 10 pills a day. He's whatever. And she's even says, like, I don't even want to be with someone that's sober. Like, I live a crazy life. Like, I want to be able for us to go out and have fun, but just like, you know, dial it back. And like, so even that, like, this was only maybe 10 years ago or something. Yeah. So I don't know when they put, like, when the 12-step program or Alcoholics Anonymous was formed, but reality TV has shown us, as Meteor Wine likes to point out, that it is this whole sort of cycle. We're seeing it, we're talking about it, and I said last week, like, I'm so tired of learning about new disorders via reality TV. Like, this shouldn't be like an education station, you know, like, but it seems to be. I wonder if someone will start like if narcissism is what we're all becoming more aware of now, because so many people on reality TV are narcissists. Like, and maybe that's what it takes to really want to be on reality TV. And I don't know. So I would just be curious to know if somebody is working on that 12-step for narcissism, because of just the times that we're in. We're evolving into a time where a light is shown on this disease or whatever it is, or a disorder. I'm not even sure what it.
You don't think before reality TV it was sitcom stars and drama stars and movie stars and?
But you're not scripting for the most part. Like, if you're taking a great role, you're not. Well, you're a total narcissist. Oh, I love that for myself. Like, you're like, that's scripted. We're watching real people show exactly that disorder is, like, they're covered in it. Like, I don't know if you could ever see it any more clearly than on
I think
on
you're
your
saying
TV
because
screen.
It's more in our face. So like the actor was playing a role and we weren't seeing their narcissistic behavior. But now because the public, like, we thought, oh, so, you know, whatever actor, I can't think of who it could be, is like, now we know maybe posthumously that this person was a huge narcissist, but we just thought, wait, no, that's America's TV dad and we love this person and he's so great. But because with reality TV, even if it's an artificial circumstance, it's still a real person.
But actors from the outside have been shit on forever for being narcissists.
But we weren't seeing it.
Then how did, we're just guessing? Like, it was just a guess joke? Like,
not the way we're seeing it now.
We weren't watching it. Like, we were watching we would read about a narcissist. We would hear in an interview, somebody would call somebody from a movie that they did 5 years ago and be like, this guy is this. But like, all we ever saw of this person was this thing. We're tracking these people's lives week after week after week, solely on them being the natural narcissists that they are. Kevin Kline could be a massive narcissist. I will always just see him as the guy in Soap Dish that is like, but like, and I don't care to look into his narcissism, you know, like, if I'm not saying Kevin Kline, I'm just, I love him so much too. That's just somebody that came up in my head right now. So I'm just like, the difference is like, obviously they existed, but you know.
Great example for you though. Like, remember recently there was that whole thing with Ellen and so many people started coming forward saying like they had really not great experiences with her. But as the public, she was America's daytime sweetheart.
She was the best.
The best. And everyone that was watching her was like, no, Ellen's the most wonderful, the nicest person. But then all of these people from behind the scenes had a certain experience with her, but we never saw it. And I think you're just saying, because we're following their everyday lives, even if it's like a stilted version of it, we're still seeing how they behave in it. And we didn't see that with someone like in Ellen, whether she did these things or not. I'm not saying it either way. I'm just saying, like, we saw her on essentially a scripted show. Oh,
and I'm always the first to say that I don't care about celebrities. I don't care about their bad behavior. Ignoring everything I said before about Tom Schwartz's old Vanderpump years.
Every sinner has a past and every saint has a future.
We want the light that Schwartz can bring, and we also love a comeback story. And that's, I think, what we've all found in Tom Schwartz. We have a few newcomers this week. I think I said that this would be our last week of doing Party of Schwartz, but we will be filming the last reunion. So if you
have one more week,
you have one more week to speak now or forever hold your Schwartz, or not hold your Schwartz. I'll be holding him right here. So anyway, this week we have McJuggermax,
great name,
Angela Williams-Stokes, and Heather on Patreon.
Oh,
no, but I don't know because some people's names are different. So somebody on Patreon named
Okay,
Heather.
well, it counts for 2 right now. Isn't Heather Pike on here already?
No. What? Wait, is Heather Pike on here? I don't think Heather Pike
Okay.
is. She's on Party of Lala.
Me too.
And that ain't nothing.
Yeah.
So 1 more week. And if I missed anyone, wouldn't just hurt for you just to, add yourself again. Probably best for everyone. So that's all I got this week. But
And that reminds me, just because we can't unfortunately do comments tonight because Mike I don't even think he's on his last leg. I think he's just on his something. He's like a roly-poly. Poor guy. We're just propping him up. It's like Weekend
it's
at Bernie's
Weekend at
over here.
Bernie's for sure.
Bernie, I love you, Bernie. Anyway, point being is we can't go through all of the commentos, which is very sad for us, but we just want to make sure we get you guys 2 episodes. So we're going to roll right into Love Island Beyond the Villa. And it's like basically 2 in the morning here. So we're just trying to get you guys more content without doing the comments. And there was just one thing I wanted to say, because you said Heather was saying she's Party of Schwartz on Patreon. A few people have been asking where they can find us on Patreon. It's under Showmance.
Yes.
And then we're going to come back and do show 2.
Okay, great.
Okay. Love you guys. Bye.
Okay,
Or
love
see
you.
you in a
Bye.
minute.